design of our structure is really shaped by us, or what is there to be explored. I'm Rosaria, founder and CEO of Family Mind AI, and I'm incredibly happy to kick this off with Tina. Tina is CEO of Mentessa, but furthermore, Tina is the expert since she founded the statal organization about new work, and she's here with us to discuss the topic around design that we live in. So, Tina, let's dive deeper into this. And we often talk a little bit about mental load and work-life balance, and as where they are personal optimization. So, thinking a little bit ahead, if we think about the structure today, and do you think it was ever designed for care, work, and responsibilities in mind?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be on your new show. Congrats for the good topic, and I love your work. I do not think that anything in today's workplace were designed for the topics we are talking about when we are talking about being human, as our workplace is deriving from the era of industrialization, where human resource were just about as much as keeping the machines alive. So work was very standardized. It didn't depend on who is at the machine, if it is Rosaria or Tina, how they feel, who they need to care for. It was all replaceable. This was how processes and organizations and value creation worked back then. And we have done an incredible amount of evolutioning since then, but still a lot of our structures in the workplace, I would say most of them, are just stuck in this time.
Wow, Tina, and you're spot on. So you say it's a legacy system that we're currently working in, and we're applying now a care lever on top of a legacy.
Yeah. Yes, and it's a
And
legacy
if you
in
think
which.
about this,
I just wanted to add that it's a legacy in which also our roles in society have changed. So the way that genders were supposed to operate, like women taking care of the children at home in Germany, and now we are more and more active in the workplace, willing to take responsibility. So there is a legacy with a lot of conflict potential in it.
and how do you think this can be solved? If we think about fairness and shared responsibilities, which are still seen as nice to have than rather core design principles, is there anything that you would state to our audience out there that is a must have that must change?
Yeah. Indeed, I think one of the mistakes that we've done in the past was to always talk about the business case of diversity, why it pays out to have more diverse teams for innovation, for productivity, for speed to market, why it is, a return on investment. I think the more essential driver of the changes we need could be found in a different place. It is just so that companies struggle to hire in a very tight war for talent situation. And there is just no way around, be it a business case or not, of making the workplace work for just more people than the a standard 9 to 5, that just works for particular ages in the lifetime and for particular phases the best. So rather than thinking about the business case of diversity, I would just face the reality of a tight talent situation where companies really struggle to make their marks without the right people on board. And in order to open the doors for them, there just needs to be more flexibility. There needs to be not only flexibility for parents, but also for people who decide not to have children. There needs to be flexibility for different time arrangements, for different lifestyles. There needs to be a flexibility for working remotely, and all of that used to be a very, very difficult task, not only not accepted by the legacy structure we live in, but also just unmanageable before. The good news is that today with technology, we can do exactly this. We can provide a flexibility so that people can operate in their perfect model.
Tina, I love what you're just saying, and you're bringing the umbrella to why we're here together. Because yes, technology and AI does give us tons of possibility to enable people to work remotely. And I want to add one more thing, and I think this is really crucial to add. You were already saying diversity, so bringing the workforce in a more diverse manner. And care work is not only, as you say, bounded to working parents, but we also do care about pets. We do care about elderly people. And as you were saying, people often now, the Gen Z generation, they want to care about their lives.
Yes,
So they
and
want
we
to
need a
balance their
society of
lives
people
in
that
a
care.
way.
Mhm. And you are spot on because we need now a society from people that care more than ever. The more decentralized we become, the more we give flexibility and the space for individual lifestyles to everybody, the less we can provide top-down management of everything from above. The very base of democracy is self-organization, self-determination, participative structure. So we can only afford those if people care. So, centering the workplace around building structure for care is not only good for business; it is also good for society. And I think one of the examples that you didn't mention, although I agree with all of the above, is, for example, there are people that just care for causes. And I have a friend of mine, Evelyn Kuhn, who co-founded the Bundesverband New Work together with me, and she went to work in part-time so that she had her Fridays to work for our association. And there are many, many people that do not pick part-time or flexible arrangements just to lay on the sofa, but they pick them enable for the purposes of working for other purposes that are necessary in our society. And Germany is a champion in voluntary work. So we have here more than 30 million people that engage as in NGOs, in associations, in networks that help students learn to read, that help elderly people handle their household, etc., etc. So making more space in the workplace for such models would eventually make our society more comfortable and better and more productive for everybody.
Tina, I love in the direction that we're going because you're spot on. Care is not only associated with parents, but I see it more as a foundation of our democracy. Because if we build a system where everyone can contribute to our society with the causes that you just shared, we are building a foundation for our democracy. So, coming from where we started of industrialization and workforce and the legacy, how our workplaces are built currently and the flexibility that it's needed, going now in the direction to build a strong fundament for our foundation. I love this. And since we're already moving a little bit into the last questions, I would want to know to you is what would you say to a leader? And it doesn't matter whether it is a politician or a corporate leader, the guidance you would give leaders out there to enable such care economy?
Mhm. I would just start with the why. It's caring structures or providing the support for care, if we want to call it so, today is not just a fair and just thing to do. It is a business necessity, as companies just need the talent in order to be productive and grow. And one of the best ways to start is to start by asking employees what they need in order to be successful and to keep the conversation going.
Tina, thank you for being with us on the show. I loved having you. I loved having you in perspective. You're such an expert in the matter of new work and especially bringing together new work, our society challenges, and also what you are doing. And I want to just close us off. Both of us are moms, so I want to build a future that is better than the one that we're living right now. And I would like to hand over for the final words to you.
Well, I founded my first and second companies while having a small child at home. The first one was even with a baby. So I think the only reason that I have been successful as an entrepreneur was because I had so much flexibility as a self employed person to design my day, to pick my working hours. And I just want to say, people, we can do this if we want to, and not just because human beings are naturally resourceful, but also because with a little bit of flexibility, we are also sharing the responsibility for the outcomes with each other. And this just simply makes us more powerful. This is why I cross my fingers for Family Mind and you, Rosaria, and it was a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you, Tina, for being with us. And this is our first episode of Shared by Design because it's basically this. We are sharing by design, we are building the foundation, and we are also pushing forward the boundaries for female founders as you, Tina, and myself. And thank you for having us. We will be posting a next episode on Monday, and we will be dig deeper into our corner pieces of care, work, tech, and future workforce. Thank you for being on the show. See you soon. Bye.